So to answer the question everyone is sure to ask, did I see this coming? Nope. I mean, I'd heard rumors and leaks, but that's all I took them to be. Rumors and leaks. So main questions. Did I see this coming? No. Will the show improve? Yes. Will it go back to what it was? No. Will it still be woke? Very likely yes. Can Doctor Who be saved? Sorry, but I'm still leaning towards no on that one. Chibs did a lot of damage, and I don't see it ever being truly saved if it continues to be woke, which it probably will, but I'll expand on these points as we make it through this article. Doctor Who, Russell T Davies returns as program showrunner. Screenwriter Russell T Davies is to take charge again of Doctor Who, the sci-fi show he helped revive in 2005. This, if nothing else, makes it clear how badly Chibs has screwed up. I mean, everybody expected the woke stuff, but nobody thought he would be vindictive enough to completely destroy Doctor Who canon for woke points. You've done screwed up, little man, especially since the woke as hell BBC seems to have thought this was necessary. Davies, who was the fantasy drama showrunner until 2009, will take over when Chris Chibnall departs next year. So, there's still 2 years of Chibs, which means 2 more years of Chibs continuing to ruin the show. I have a feeling that Chibs may not be leaving by choice, despite what he says. I mean, whatever happened to your 5-year plan, eh Chibs? It's like a dude is fired from his office job because he sucks and drove the company to the edge of bankruptcy. The boss says, you've done a terrible job and you're fired, but we'll let you stay on for 2 more years. Then we'll fire you. Well then, that's 2 years for said employee to poop all over the office building, smear it all over the walls, then douse the building in gasoline, and roast marshmallows while peeing on the blazing inferno. I'm beyond excited to be back on my favorite show, said Davies, who resumes his role as the show prepares to mark its 60th anniversary in 2023. I'm not going to slag RTD for the work he's done in the past. He was probably the best showrunner since Philip Hinchcliffe, and he brought the show back, and within a few short years turned it into an absolute juggernaut. The significance of this can never be understated. But remember, RTD also made it clear 12 years ago that he didn't have any intention of ever returning. He made his mark, and it was time to move on. But then there have been rumors that RTD has been, shall we say, less than happy with what Chibs has done to Doctor Who. Although, obviously, he never made these feelings public. But this seems to have been about the writing. Honestly, I think he's fine with the agenda. One of his first responsibilities will be to decide who takes over the TARDIS following Jodie Whittaker's exit. And this will be our chance to make our first judgment call. If it ends up being anything other than a straight white British male, and no, not because we have something against other groups, it's because this is what the Doctor was for 12 regenerations, then there's no point holding out hope any further. It will be more of the same. Just much better written. The actress is set to hang up her sonic screwdriver after 1 more 6-part series and 3 2022 specials. Speaks to the laziness of these people. 3 years and only 9 episodes. Good lord. Also, as I said, this gives Chibs more time to destroy the show even further. Don't also forget that there will be more pandering to the nasty crowd of degenerates that call themselves fans of this show. You know, the same people that chased away any remaining real fans that were still hanging around so they could make this show for them alone. If you're not sure who they are, just check Twitter. They're lovely. In a statement, however, Davies said it would be time traveling too fast to speculate on what will happen when he returns. I'd say he already has a pretty good idea of what he's doing with this. There's no way he would make a decision like this and just go in blind. There's a whole series of Jodie Whittaker's brilliant Doctor for me to enjoy, with my friend and hero Chris Chibnall at the helm. He continued, I'm still a viewer for now. I'm sure he was instructed to say this. There's no way he would be returning if he truly thought Chibs was brilliant. And if it wasn't broke, then RTD wouldn't feel the need to come in and fix it. The problem is, what does he fix, and what strands of this terrible era does he leave intact? Chibnall said it was monumentally exciting and fitting that Davies would be back in charge for the series' 60th birthday. He probably said this while stabbing an RTD-shaped voodoo doll. Russell built the baton that is about to be handed back to him, the writer and producer continued, while throwing darts at a photo of RTD. Well, yes, he built the ship. Everyone thought it was unsinkable. Then you came in as a smug-faced iceberg, and just in case the iceberg wasn't enough, you also brought in some torpedoes. Davies revived Doctor Who in its current incarnation with Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor, and remained for David Tennant's time as the Doctor. Yes, those were great times, but that was 2005 through New Year 2010, and the world and the BBC were very different places back then. Everything has not only changed for the worse, it's changed in ways none of us could have fathomed back on that New Year's Day in 2010. Stephen Moffat took over when Matt Smith took on the role, staying on to supervise Peter Capaldi's stint as TV's, whatever that word is, Time Lord. Yes, and terrible story arcs aside, he was one of the best writers Doctor Who has ever had, and he cast 2 amazing Doctors. But must I remind people of Series 10, you still had Moffat writing, and you still had the best actor ever to play the Doctor in the lead role. Unfortunately, the hateful BBC policies that would end up destroying the show under Chibs were put in place under Moffat, and just look at the woke mess that Series 10 ended up being. I mean, just compare it to Series 5, done with the same showrunner. And not only will these policies still be in place when RTD returns, they're a whole lot more draconian than they were under Moffat. The success of Doctor Who's relaunch led Davies to create 2 spin-off shows, Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures. 2 brilliant shows, but again, this was a long time ago. After leaving the show in 2009, he enjoyed more acclaim with TV dramas Years and Years, A Very English Scandal, and It's a Sin. I can't really comment on the quality of these shows, as I've never watched them, but I'm sure somebody will mention them in the comments. Piers Wenger, good lord, the BBC's director of drama, said the news of Davies' return would delight Doctor Who fans across the globe. And there's another piece of evidence that things won't change. This man has spearheaded all the discriminatory practices that turned the BBC into what it is now. And he don't like straight white dudes in lead roles on the BBC. Actually, he don't seem to want straight white dudes on his network at all. We are thrilled that Russell is returning to Doctor Who to build on the huge achievements of Chris and Jodie, he continued. Russell, it's wonderful to have you back. And the words build on should also be a cause for concern, meaning that RTD is expected to build upon what Chibs did. Also, don't forget, he liked the idea of a gender change and fully supported it. I mean, he definitely would never have done what Chibs did in terms of canon, but he was supportive of the idea. Davies' return was also welcomed by Bad Wolf, the production company founded in 2015 by former BBC executives Julie Gardner and Jane Tranter. Gardner and Tranter both worked with Davies on the Doctor Who relaunch and will collaborate with him when he returns as showrunner. Perhaps working with an external production company will give RTD more free rein. Perhaps it won't. Only time will tell. And just what will the free reign consist of anyway? We are delighted to be joining Russell T Davies on a looped ontological paradox, said the Bad Wolf Twitter account. Where Russell goes, we are proud to follow. With BBC Studios, Bad Wolf will be producing the all-new series of Doctor Who. It's a privilege to be asked to support him in Doctor Who's future. Again, only time will tell how this aspect will pan out. Actor Matt Lucas, who played Companion Ardole during Capaldi's time as the Doctor, was evidently delighted by the news. Russell T Davies back in the TARDIS. What a coup. I'm buzzing. Wrote the Bake Off presenter and Little Britain comic on Twitter. That's a very odd choice to quote. I mean, you couldn't find anybody with more stature within Doctor Who, or does everybody else formerly involved still refuse to talk about it? A few months ago, I put out a video saying that I didn't think Doctor Who could ever recover from the Chibs era, and I still, if I'm being honest, believe that. RTD was a brilliant showrunner, but that was many years ago, and he has supported some of the things Chibs did, things which ultimately led to the destruction of the show. There is also the fact that the new narrative forming around the Chibs era misses the fundamental problems completely. People who promote the Doctor Who was badly written under Chibs, and that was the only reason it was bad, are being allowed to trend on YouTube while using BBC footage. And now I think we know why. The BBC seems to be hoping people will accept this argument. Yes, Chibs is a terrible writer, and he hired terrible writers. So that's the one thing we know will change. It will be better written, but better written woke garbage isn't any better. The agenda, which was the real problem, is being left out of the argument, because of course it is. The BBC is only about agenda now, and they would never let anything threaten that. My read on this is that it will still be about the agenda. It will probably just be a better written agenda. After all, Big Finish used to make great Doctor Who stories too, but I stopped listening to them after they shifted to woke garbage too. I also don't think this move will fully repair the damage done to the Doctor Who brand caused by its terrible attitude towards long-term fans. They have been treated like garbage the past few years, and have been told that not only are their opinions invalid, they are no longer welcome in fandom anyway. Many of these people are never coming back. Then there's the terrible people that call themselves fans that you elevated, praised, and retweeted at every opportunity. If you think fans are going to forget about this, then you're just deluding yourselves. With that said, I will give the new RTD era a fair chance and analysis, just like I did with the 13th Doctor, but somehow I think my fears will be proven true again. Expect more videos on this as news develops. And that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Twitter. And as always, everyone, thanks for watching and have a great day.